Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to beat the Empires of the Undergrowth level 1-1 New Home on Insane difficulty, and also give some general gameplay tips. Let's get started. New game, colony color, we'll just do black, I like black. Now, if you've never played this game before, you're in the wrong video. I would strongly recommend that you play the game yourself before watching this, because you don't want to have it spoiled for you. And if you're not sure if you want to get the game, there's a free demo, so definitely go play that if you haven't seen this game before. So, we're not going to do anything in the Formicarium yet. We want to start off with the new level. Insane mode. Alright, first thing you want to do, dig to the left and collect the food there. Make sure that you have these guys in a pheromone chamber so you can actually tell them where to go. If you leave them there, then putting the markers will not make them move. I've made that mistake many times. Also, you probably want to turn visual health bars and food numbers on, because it makes it a lot easier to tell what's going on. So we're going to put one soldier tile here. We're just going to keep making soldier tiles. Don't make any worker tiles in this level. You don't need them. They're just going to waste food. And you actually have a limited amount of food in this level, and when it's all gone, it's all gone. And you can't get any more back. Unless you're on challenge mode, which actually makes it oddly a little easier in a way. We're not going to actually be upgrading any ants either, so don't worry about that. Make sure you leave a little bit of food for actually hatching the ants. You don't want to use all of it on placing down. See, if I were to put another tile down, I'd only have 7 food left, so I could only hatch 1 more ant, and I'd have 3 out of 5 and not be able to make any more. But if I just leave it as it is for now, yeah. If you have the marker, and if you tell the green worker ants to go somewhere, while you have eggs that need hatched or tiles that need dug, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to mill around the marker and not actually get any work done. So don't do that. So you want to target all the rooms with the least number of enemies first. And I'm assuming you know how to play this game. As I mentioned, if you don't know anything about this game, you're in the wrong place. And at this point, I'm going to move the workers into the, I don't know what the chamber is called. What's it called? The nest group. It's basically the same as all the others, except you can't tell them where to go. Now, I want to wait for my last 2 guys to it doesn't matter. This level isn't really that hard. It's the very first level. It's not that difficult. At least if you're relatively experienced, like I am.
If the ants are disturbed the adult of these larvae.
Don't make any food stores yet. We'll need a couple later, but for now that's just a waste of food that could be spent on more, not workers, soldiers. So this is the final room that has 2 enemies in it. Next one has 5. Next up, nope, there's one that has 4. Oh, let's turn off food gathering in combat for the nest group. That would be smart. Actually, you know how one worker pretty much always gets killed when they excavate a new area? There's a way around that. If you put them in a chamber that you can create a pheromone marker for, so not the nest group, then you will actually, I'll show you a little way you can prevent them from getting killed when they dig out a new area. I would also recommend getting used to the keybinds. There's a lot of keyboard shortcuts that can really speed up your game. I mean, it's not gonna make a humongous difference, but it'll make a pretty big difference. Alright, so we're gonna have them dig this place out, and we want them to retreat as soon as they finish digging. So to do that, Wrong group. To do that, we're going to select their marker, start digging, wait for 2 of them to get there, and immediately put the marker somewhere else. That way, and make sure combat and food gathering are off. See? That way they flee as soon as they finish digging out the tiles, because they're not told to collect food, they're not told to fight, and they have a marker to go to, so they'll prioritize that instead of just hanging around and letting themselves get killed. It's usually not that big a deal because you only cost, 2 food to hatch? Yeah, 2 food. So it's not a huge problem, but it can be nice to have early game. Alright, so now we need to break into the room with 4 guys in it. And even though we have the marker, you want to place the marker as soon as they start digging, because they'll prioritize digging until there's no more to dig, then they'll go to the marker. There is a problem that can happen where if you dig too many tiles, like if I dug all the way up here, this tile wouldn't get destroyed when I unearth this chamber, but it would still be there, and the ants would still see it and be like, hey, I need to go dig that up. So they would actually stay in the room and get killed because they're trying to dig a tile that's next to a bunch of enemies. So keep that in mind as well. Now, yeah. Excuse me. Choked a little there. So there's these 2 rooms here, and each of them contains a bunch of wood lice, or as I like to call them, pill bugs, or roly-polies to some people. So they're free food, so your gut instinct is going to be to dig towards them as soon as possible. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you do it properly, because, see, I could dig up here and then get that and then dig all the way through here and get to this room, but you actually don't want to do that. You only want one route to this area, because that way the enemies will always come through the same route. See, if I dig over here and over here, they'll have 2 ways to come towards me, and so they can group up and or they can split up, and I'll have to split my forces to deal with them properly. So don't do that, which is why I'm not digging this out yet. I want this to be the way in because it's bigger.
Predators are loose.
Yeah, see, this guy's just sitting there because he's gone comatose. He doesn't know what to do, and now he's dead. Now, it's generally a better idea to let these guys go into an open area so you can surround them easier. See, I can only have like 5 or 6 ants attacking at once, and all the rest aren't doing anything. But in this level, it's so easy that you really don't have to worry about it, which is why I'm not doing that. I'm not worrying about it. Once we finish this group of 19 soldiers, we're going to actually make another one. You want 2 groups, just because each group actually... Here's how it works. So if I click here, I'm actually going to put them all in the same chamber just to demonstrate this. If I click here, I click and it slowly counts up to the maximum number of ants that are in that chamber. So now if I click over here, then it changes, right? Well, the amount of ants that transfer, see, it's going like 5-6 ants per second transferring to the new marker. That speed is static, and it doesn't change when you have more ants in one group. So if you have like 200 ants, it'll take forever for all of them to change to the new group. But if you have like 4 groups of 50 ants, then they'll all change to new markers a lot faster. So if you have a large number of ants, then you're going to want to do that. Also, it helps with challenge mode, which I'm not doing. So this is where we're going to make our food tiles. We're going to make 3 for now. May need more at some point, I don't know. We'll find out. You don't want to just go crazy building stuff, because if you build a little too much, then you're going to be low on food, and that's not good.
These wood lice will make a significant addition to the colony's larders, but they are clinging tightly to the ground.
Make sure your workers have combat turned off so they don't try and kill these guys, because it takes forever. You can't have them harvest the food, though. That's fine. Yeah, see, so now I'm going to dig through here, and it's not going to connect to this chamber, so we will have only one way that all the enemies can get to us. So that way we know where they're going to come from, and we don't have to worry about splitting our armies. Going to level up all these food tiles to max, and I think we're going to leave it there. I don't think we need any more. Actually, instead of having them fight more bugs, I'm going to have them collect food first, because that way we'll be able to spawn more guys faster, which will speed up the harvesting process. I'm not going for a speed run here or anything. I'm just playing the game normally. Although, the faster I could do this, the better for the video, because I don't want to make this too long. Basically, this level is very straightforward. As long as you do everything in the right order. Like, if you do exactly what I do, you're pretty much guaranteed to win, unless you get, like, really bad luck or something. Because as long as you have the right number of ants, and you fight in the same spots, and you unearth all these chambers in the same order, you'll probably have the exact same result that I do. Which is true for a lot of these levels. Not necessarily all of them, there's a lot that are more RNG dependent. But this is not one of them. The second nest group is also good on challenge mode for the mole crickets, because you can leave them at home if mole crickets, or if you're worried about mole crickets, and they can kill the mole crickets while the guys up here deal with anyone attacking up here. I'm turning combat off until these guys reach me. That way I wait for them to get into the big open area. There's also a thing you can do that it mostly just works with larger enemies, but you turn combat off until they reach the enemy, and then right as they're passing under it, you turn combat back on, and they'll surround the enemy. If you don't do that, then they'll all attack from the same side, which means some of them will get stuck behind, and they're not smart enough to go around to the back, so they won't be able to reach the enemy. 190 food should be fine. I don't know exactly how much it's going to take to respawn all these dudes. Oh, right. Let's bring these guys back. I don't want them to try and fight in the small corridor. Yeah, you'll notice I'm flipping through all these menus without even touching them with the mouse. That's because I'm using the hotkeys. And I would also recommend customizing the hotkeys to whatever is useful for you. So whatever you find you do the most, assign that to a hotkey, and you can just choose the hotkeys that are easiest for you to do. This area is completely... I don't know why it shows a question mark, because every time it's a question mark, it's always either wood lice or larvae of wood lice. So it's not really a question mark if you know exactly what's going to be there, because it's the only thing that shows up as a question mark. It'd be interesting if there was there were rooms where you don't know what's in there. Like, it tells you there's a room there, but it doesn't tell you what's in there, and there's no way to figure it out. Oh yeah, another tip. When you move you can move the camera around by either moving the mouse to the edge of the screen, or using the WASD or arrow keys, but you can also do both at the same time to make it go faster. So this is going up with just the mouse, this is going up with just the arrow keys, and this is going up with both at the same time. You'll notice that goes a lot faster. So you can do that to get around faster. You can also just click on the mini-map. Fortunately, we're not in a time crunch or anything, because we're not in challenge mode, but we shouldn't really have to worry too much about that. We're going to dig out this area next, because it has the lowest number. If you dig out this, you'll have to fight this group as well. This has slightly more little guys in it, and we're going to tell all our dudes to conglomerate over here. Oh yeah, don't spend all your food at once like I just did.
Intruders in the nest.
I'll be able to, why are you just sitting there? See, that's why that
The
little
ants
trick
have
comes in
stumbled into the
useful.
path of a fully developed
It'll probably lose me
devil's
like
coach
10 or
horse
15
beetle.
food over the course of the
Against
entire
the
level, so it's not that big of a
The
problem.
beetle is almost
But if you want to
vertically
min-max, then
incised
it's a
with
good idea to do that.
protected by thick
But
plates
right
of
now I'm just
external
too
armor.
lazy to...
Whilst it bites at the tiny defenders, it sprays foul-smelling secretions from the end of its
Oh hey, watch
tongue,
this. Watch what the
disorientating
narrator
ants.
says once you kill this guy.
The devil's coach horse is dead. Its corpse will provide food to support dozens of new brood.
It drops 21 food. 21. That's not even... That's barely enough... I think it's 21. It's in the 20s. That's barely enough for one worker. And 0 soldiers. Notice it means like rehatching. But it says new brood. So I assume that means, you know, new brood. So that's kind of funny. I guess like lore-wise in the canon it does that, but not in the actual game, like, you know, gameplay and story segregation.
There are intruders in the nest.
I'll actually show you how much this guy drops this time. I forgot to show that. You know, sometimes I wish these guys were a little faster because I have to just sit around. Why are you there? You're not even close to the queen. These ants sometimes just wander around.
The colony is starving.
Yeah.
There's not enough food to feed them.
Calm down. We'll be there in a second. The check's in the post. All right, watch how much food this guy drops. 28. 28. That's enough for one worker. One. We've only got like 4 or 5 dozen right now. I'm terrible at math. I don't know. But it's definitely not... We definitely can't get that much from one fully grown Devil's Coach horse alone. Kind of funny when... I've been watching some other Empires of the Undergrowth YouTubers, and sometimes they get the names wrong. Like, they'll call the Devil's Coach horse beetles a lot of different things, like Devil's Horse Coach, which implies that the coach is the one pulling the horses behind it, which is really funny. See, look, I had that tile dug out, but it didn't get vaporized when I exposed the room, so all the workers stayed there and got themselves killed. Yeah, see, they're responding a fair bit faster than they would if I had them all in one pheromone group. When you have a lot of ants, that becomes pretty much necessary if you actually want to get them to move around in a timely manner. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what shape you make these in because you're not going to be upgrading them. Also, do not use speed tiles. The only time you should use speed tiles is if you need to upgrade a tile and you don't have any walls around it. Or, like, if it doesn't have enough upgrade points to upgrade it, that's the only time you should do that. I still have my, oh wait, I'm smart. I thought that the reason they weren't placing this is because I still had the worker marker out, but I forgot I moved them to here, so the workers don't actually have a marker. So I just took away that marker for no reason. And now we only have 2 chambers left, so we're going to dig out this one. Put everybody over here. See, with this one, by the way, don't put them right at the entrance, because then they'll just have a teeny weeny tunnel to attack through. And since individual enemies are stronger than individual ants, you're always going to be at a disadvantage unless you can surround them, because your advantage is in numbers in this game, so you don't want to lose that. Yeah, see, I'm killing them a lot faster than I would if I was just in a tiny tunnel. It'd be nice if you could tell them exactly which enemy to focus on, because a lot of times they'll split their damage between all the enemies and kill them a lot slower. But, oh well. By the way, here's another thing. If your food stores are full and you don't want to bother making more right now, all you have to do is just place a bunch of tiles. The more expensive, the better. Place them far away from your nest. And then your ants will collect the food, and then you can just destroy them, which causes the food to drop right at your queen. So it's sort of a cheat to collect more food than you can actually collect, if you know what I mean. Alright, so we are out of food. The only, I don't know why they put food in here, because it's generally the last place you're going to want to excavate. But, let's see. I might as well just upgrade a few guys, just for the heck of it. And I'm actually going to upgrade the food stores a tiny bit. This will take a little longer, but, you know, just over-preparing it will never hurt you, except with a little bit of... It'll cost you a little bit of time, but it's almost always worth it. Because I need enough food to be able to respawn all of these ants at least once. That's how much food you want to shoot for. If you can respawn all your ants once, then you should be good. There's no point in getting more food than that, because once they respawn once, then the eggs will be gone. You have to place more eggs before you can respawn any more. And if you're in the middle of combat, if your nest is under attack, you probably won't be able to place eggs because all your workers will get killed. Almost there. This is probably overkill. I already mentioned it's definitely overkill, because I don't need all this stuff, but we're going to do it anyway. So now that we've fully upgraded our food tile, we can just dig out this whole area here. It's going to take a little while because we only have a couple workers, but I think it'll be fine. Alright, that should be good. Let's move everyone actually all the way back here. We want to put the fight as close to the food tiles, or as close to the soldier tiles as possible, so when they die and respawn, they can join the fight immediately, or almost immediately. So we have 66 guys. 3 of them are upgraded once, just because I had too much food. What the heck? Okay, there are 2. I was seeing all the workers just not moving, and I was like, are they actually going to dig that out? I guess he put food here because you don't necessarily have to do this one last. It's just, it's the hardest one by far, so there's no reason why you wouldn't do that, unless you don't know which one is going to be harder. You can also turn off combat to wait until, to make sure they wait until the enemy gets close enough to attack. And now we charge them. There should be plenty to take these guys out. Got plenty of food to respawn, got plenty of soldiers. They're all attacking at once, plenty of room, they can surround the enemy. As you can see, they're not really having much trouble at all. We are losing some food, but we can totally afford that. See, they're about half gone already. Each enemy that dies in the enemy group lowers their DPS against all of your ants. So, every time you kill something, then you end up taking less damage. And there we go, we've done it. We've finished New Home. Very easy. So if you're having trouble with this level, or if you're trying to do it on challenge mode, just do what I did. If you're in challenge mode, just have the second group stay home and defend the ants against the mole crickets. Or you can have them run around with the rest of the ants, but just bring them home when mole crickets show up. There's multiple things you could do. Now, choose a reward for your Formicarium. You can choose which one you get more of. Never choose territory, ever. All it does is change the amount of tiles you can dig out in your Formicarium, which has never in the history of this game, that has never been a problem for a single player, I bet. So instead, we're going to choose, I think, extra royal jelly at this point. Later on, we're going to need more food for the Formicarium challenges, but for now, we're going to just choose the jelly. And there we go. That is it for New Home. I'm going to make videos on all the levels of this game, as well as the Formicarium challenges and some of the bonus levels. So if you want to see that, then either you can subscribe to the channel or just check back every now and then. Oh, hi. I didn't know it did this if you just sat there long enough. That's cool. Yeah, if you want to see more tutorials, then keep watching my channel. I'll make more. And also, if you want anything specific or have feedback, please leave them in the comments. Any comments of all kinds are welcome. Within reason, obviously. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.